In 2003, Metallica released the album Saint Anger. It quickly became a commercial success, being their first album to come out in over 6 years. But till this very day, it still leaves fans very divided on where they stand on the album. So, within this video, I'll be exploring a possible alternative universe where Saint Anger would be fixed to be more towards the common of the Metallica fans, and see what that would sound and look like, and what changes would be made to make such a possibility happen. First, before we dive right into this, I want to establish what the whole informational side of this album will look like. This being the release date. The release date I see in this alternative timeline should be releasing in either late or mid 2001, or aiming for the first 2 months of 2002 at the latest. I do not see this, the way I have it set up, going until 2003 to be released. Along with this, Bob Rock will still be producing it, and they'll still be producing it not in the original studio before James went to rehab, but their later Metallica HQ. Now let's get the other big part out of the way, the timeline changes, or at least main events that would have to be altered in order for this to go through. There's 2 big ones, obviously. First, Jason will have to not leave Metallica. Either that by way of James allowing Echo Brain to continue, or Jason stepping away from Echo Brain to help focus on this album with a less off time than what was originally planned. Also, another thing that would have to be altered is James going to rehab in 2001. Either this would have to quickly happen, or happen in a much shorter time span than the nearly over almost year that James spent in rehab. So before diving into the actual album's tracks individually and seeing what they are, to begin with, let's talk about the overall general sound and style this album would be. This will probably be more closely to what Reload was, but maybe a slight bit more aggressive in a sense. Not the whole way to the extent of Saint Anger, nor Death Magnetic. Maybe somewhere in the middle with a more slight tone aggression, similar to the Black Album, for the majority of the album at least. There will still be definitely stuff that still hails true to the Saint Anger sound, but it's not going to be as common and taking place across the whole album like it is in real life. There's going to be, the whole album isn't going to be in drop C and drop C sharp like it is currently. There's going to be songs that are mostly roughly half step down, drop D, and still a few tracks that are drop C sharp and some even drop C. Here we go, the big meaty part of the video, the fictional tracklist. So I decided, you know what, maybe I'm gonna still say it's still an experimental phase from Metallica. So we start out with the Echo track that you would see in the Some Kind of Monster documentary. You'll see on the demo tapes. Have that as a sort of little intro leading up into the Unnamed Feeling, which is changed now to a drop C sharp instead of a typical drop C. Saint Anger is also changed down to drop C sharp as well. Minus Human still in D standard, but makes its appearance on a studio album without the symphony extra little bits, and with slight minute studio changes. Sweet Amber still stays the same. Some Kind of Monster is shortened down to 4 minutes instead of the 8-minute freaking drag fest that it is. God almighty. Dirty Window is shaken up a little bit by adding in the solo that Kirk did during the 2011 reunion when they played Dirty Window with Bob Rock. Shoot Me Again is making out here with slight lyrical changes and also spacing changes, also including a solo. Frantic gains an extra 10 seconds with Kirk solo on top of it. Invisible Kid is modified and changed as well as tuned up. It now has assist from Jason on the writing of it, and instead of being all about the Invisible Kid, it's about more of a personal invisibility, similar to a similar theme as The Unnamed Feeling. Jason's song on the album, I just threw in one of his own works title, As the Crow Flies, for his track that he gets obviously the first writing credit on, including a part of his new bass solo, the one back when they toured around the Cunning Stunts era, that bass solo, yes. No Leaf Clover also will make its studio album debut, still a half step down, but then we go into All With My Hands, which is completely rewritten, with the same ideas and the same principle behind it, but written in half step down as well. Dead Man's Cross is the instrumental on the album, taking elements from the Cross demo as well, but also taking elements from Purify and I believe My World, tracks that didn't make the album entirely. This brings the total length of the album up to 82 minutes and 19 seconds, which is up from the original 75 minutes that this album was ran for. So there's what I believe a more accepted Saint Anger would probably end up looking like that. It has all the fan favorites, the solos return, there's an instrumental on the track, Jason stays in the band, and then the snare is gone. I forgot to mention that, but you know what? The snare's gone. Sadly, I kind of like the snare, not going to lie. But thank you all for coming in on this little journey. It was really fun sitting down and making this video. If you made the whole at the end, please hit the subscribe button for more to be kept up with content like this. It also helps me out a lot. Maybe stop liking it if you enjoyed it. Share it around if you thought this was kind of